It's been just 3 months since Redmi Note 6 Pro got launched in India, and not to forget, it has been the best selling phone under Rs 15,000 price segment. Now Xiaomi want to bring some competition to themselves by bringing Redmi Note 7, which is going to be launched on Feb 28. In this video, let's comprehensively compare Redmi Note 6 Pro and Redmi Note 7 side by side and check out is it worth to wait and buy Redmi Note 7 over Redmi Note 6 Pro. As you know, this is Satish. Let's get started. Let's start with the availability. Redmi Note 7, which is all set to launch in India this month on Feb 28 and to be priced around Rs 10,000 for 3GB of RAM. Frankly, this phone for that price is just steal. Whereas Redmi Note 6 Pro can be bought for as low as Rs 13,999 for 4GB of RAM via Flipkart. Find the link to buy in the description below. Both the packages have similar accessories. Both the phones get dark coated TPU cover, manual and guides, SIM ejector pin, 5W 2A power adapter. The only major change you would notice is Redmi Note 7 gets USB Type-C compared to regular micro USB found on Redmi Note 6 Pro. Redmi Note 6 Pro comes with all metal back except the caps on top and bottom, and frame are made of plastic that goes all around the phone. Overall, the build of the phone is mighty. The curved edges on back give solid grip to the phone even though the thickness measures 8.3 mm. The design is nothing new compared to Redmi Note 5 Pro, as they both resemble the same. On the other side, Xiaomi finally adapted to glass body trend as Redmi Note 7's back gets glass body powered by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. The frame remains completely made of plastic but keeps its strength intact. Simultaneously, due to the glass body, the rear gets more slippery and prone to fingerprints and smudges. Comparing both together, Redmi Note 7 holds upper hand in terms of cosmetic changes given to the phone and also feels super premium. Both the phones have audio jack and infrared sensor on top, volume rockers and power button on right side. On bottom, Redmi Note 7 has Type-C slot and Redmi Note 6 Pro has normal USB slot beside loudspeaker. And on left, hybrid dual SIM slot. Redmi Note 7 gets LED notification light on chin compared to the notch found on Redmi Note 6 Pro. Both the phones have 6.3-inch Full HD Plus IPS display measuring almost same screen to body ratio. These displays are well protected by Corning Gorilla Glass, as Redmi Note 7 comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 compared to Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on Redmi Note 6 Pro. Even though these are budget mid-range smartphones, still they get quality IPS display. In terms of brightness, both the displays could exceed your expectation with decent contrast ratio. During direct sunlight operation, the legibility is just above the average, but other than this, the displays are completely usable indoor and outdoor. The water drop notch compared to huge notch found on Redmi Note 6 Pro seems to be out of trend. In fact, the water drop notch gets completely unnoticeable as you keep using the phone. Redmi Note 7 is stacked with insane 48 megapixel f1.8 camera along with 5 megapixel secondary camera for depth effect. Don't get excited by its 48 megapixel as there is a catch here. It's actually a 12 megapixel sensor results in 48 megapixel image by combining 4 pixels into one using pixel binning technology. Keeping the tech apart, the images taken on day broad light exceeded my expectation as both the rear cameras on both the phones performed excellently. The images found on Redmi Note 7 are good at using AI and altering the color to look realistic, whereas Redmi Note 6 Pro holds upper hand in detailing and in exposure. In portrait mode, both the cameras can swiftly find the object and blur the background with the use of AI technology. Redmi Note 7 enhances the color to look realistic and Redmi Note 6 Pro tries to go more detailed. In the dark conditions, Redmi Note 7 manages to perform better, giving more light to the images. Redmi Note 6 Pro comes with dual front cameras 20 megapixel and 2 megapixels, and Redmi Note 7 comes with 13 megapixel selfie camera. Comparing side by side, results are almost same except the color protection in output. Talking about the video, just because a sensor has 48 megapixel, that doesn't mean it can shoot in 4K. Unfortunately, both the phones are limited to 1080p at 30 frames per second with stabilization support to keep the video stabilized. The colors found on videos are not accurate but definitely sharp enough. So in camera department, both the phones perform similarly. Both the phones are powered by 14nm Snapdragon chipsets. Redmi Note 7 has 660 compared to Snapdragon 636 found on Redmi Note 6 Pro. Traditional look of the performance via Antutu benchmark shows Redmi Note 7 can perform nearly 20% more better than Redmi Note 6 Pro, especially on GPU department. In real world, you won't witness any difference during multitasking as the 4GB of RAM on each phone helps to run the phones super smooth. But when it comes to gaming, you would notice lags and frame drops initially, and game gets better and better as you progress on Redmi Note 6 Pro. But Redmi Note 7 utilizes superior chipset with better GPU causing no interruption during the gameplay. No doubt Redmi Note 7 is the clear winner on hardware department. Redmi Note 7 is one of the few Xiaomi phones to come with Android 9 Pie out of the box with MIUI 10 skin on top. Whereas Redmi Note 6 Pro comes with Android 8 Oreo out of the box with MIUI 9 skin but upgradable to MIUI 10. Since both are running on MIUI 10 skin on top, the overall visual experience remains same mostly. The fingerprint scanners, which are on rear side of the phone placed at right position, works fast and responsive. At least 9 out of 10 times these scanners work perfectly. Coming to the face unlock, even though Redmi Note 6 Pro holds bigger 20 megapixel sensor, it still can't able to work as fast as Redmi Note 7. As a buyer, buying either of these phones should be good choice in terms of battery life, as both the phones come with 4000 mAh non-removable battery. These batteries last long up to 36 hours if used above moderately. Redmi Note 7 seems to offer lot more juice due to the more power efficient chipset. The bottom firing loudspeakers on these devices are moderately high. Redmi Note 7 sounds clean at high volumes compared to little distortion and echo found on Redmi Note 6 Pro. Logically, why would someone buy Redmi Note 6 Pro over Redmi Note 7 when it costs less and bundled with plenty of enhancements? If Xiaomi priced Redmi Note 7 around 10,000 rupees mark, then it should be a game changer. That's it for today. If you think I deserve a credit for making this extensive comparison video, then hit the subscribe button and become part of this channel. This is Satish. Have a nice day and stay awesome.